Pokemon TCG Pocket's first promo event card, Lapras EX, is making waves and even dominating some metagame tournaments. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down a very budget-friendly Lapras EX deck just for you. The Lapras EX has pretty decent stats, 140 base HP, a 3 energy, 80 damage attack that also heals it for a little bit of health as well. It does have a sizable amount of retreat cost, sitting here at 30, but how can we best take advantage of this card? And this budget list is going to be taking advantage of the fact that, well, you were always going to start with a basic Pokemon in your opening hand, and if Lapras EX is the only Pokemon in your deck, you're guaranteed to start with her. And this list is going to take advantage of that starting basic Pokemon rule. Our only Pokemon in this list that we'll start with, we're going to get into some other options for you later, is just going to be Lapras EX. This is going to leave us with 18 slots for items as well as supporters to help us out. Our supporter selection, we're going to have Professor's Research to help us get through our deck, draw our other supporters as well as items cards. Drawing 2 cards, pretty good in card games. I think I've heard that. Maybe you've heard that as well. Giovanni giving us 10 damage to our opponent's active Pokemon, allowing us to one-hit KO active Pokemon that have 90 health on the opponent's side. Very nice there. And in some circumstances, allow me to knock out something that has 170 health within 2 turns, or maybe combat your enemies using potions to help heal up their Pokemon. You might be able to hit some breakpoints with Giovanni there as well. And obviously, Misty is going to be making a debut in this deck as well, having a 12.5% chance to just flip 3 heads, get those 3 water energy and attack as soon as turn 1 while going on the play. Basically allows you to instantly win the game 12.5% of the time. If you're going second, instantly winning the game basically goes up to a 25% chance, which is pretty nice. And then you have that 50-50 shot to just get that 1 extra energy, which still puts you 1 whole turn ahead of your opponent. And then rounding out the deck, we're gonna have X speed to help you retreat maybe some Laprases if you do decide to get Sabrina'd every once in a while. It's sort of a filler card in this deck, I'm not gonna lie. And then speaking of filler cards, in this base list, which has done pretty well in competitive tournaments so far, we're gonna be using none other than your favorite Copium card, Red card, in conjunction with Scope Lens as well. These are some cards that allow you to see your opponent's active hand, see if there's anything in there that you really want a red card, and then try to get a little bit of extra value out of your red cards in this list. And this list is pretty consistent overall. If you want to make some slight changes to it, you don't like the red card strategy, maybe you want to add something in your own collection like Articuno EX, maybe you have the Staryus and the Starmies as well, you can take out the red cards, you can take out the Scope Lenses as well, add those 2 Staryu, add those 2 Starmie, and allow your opponent to kind of suffer the wrath of having an aggro character in a Misty deck with the backup of Lapras EX2. Another decent tech option will be Old Amber. If you want to fight against Sabrina's when you put in some other Pokemon like Staryu, Starmie, or maybe Articuno or Articuno EX, the Old Amber in the deck allows you to tech against enemy Sabrinas, forcing out another Lapras EX if you have it on your bench with no energy, kind of forcing you to just sit there and take the brunt of the damage, slowing you down and not allowing you to attack. And if you want to throw an Old Amber in there, you want to feel out maybe an Aerodactyl of sorts, which is like another super secret tech option against other Misty ramp decks, or maybe even Moltres decks, although in my opinion, I wouldn't really gravitate towards that strategy since, well, you're fighting fire with water anyway, so your matchup should be pretty decent there. But the base list is going to look something just like this. I found this one to be pretty easy to put together. You can craft some of the supporters if you're a brand new player to Pokemon TCG Pocket, and then just go buy out some of the other trainers, buy the potions, buy the Speed EXs. I always call them Speed EX, they're X Speed. Buy those item cards, get your free Lapras EX before the event ends, throw this pal together, and then just go and dominate some of the versus modes, or even complete some of the PvE AI battles as well, if you so desire. But I've had great success with variations of this. I myself am going to play a slight variation of the only Lapras EX deck, and we're going to be fighting, well, you'll find out some of our toughest matchups, and we'll see how we do against these Pikachu EX decks. Spoilers, it's pretty decent still, even with terrible luck on Misties. So let's go ahead and throw this one in there. Is this going to be the best deck of all time? It's fine. It's going to be a little bit of RNG for you because of Misty. Misty's going to be feast or famine, but even if you don't gain access to Misty and flip those heads right away, you're not totally dead. Your biggest weakness in your matchup, especially if you're not playing with Starmie EX, is going to be Pikachu EX decks, as they're going to be able to sort of outrace you almost guaranteed in a lot of situations. We didn't actually start with Lapras. We have Articuno here, but that's okay. Now, if we start the battle and we flip a bunch of heads with Misty, we could just actually attack on turn 1. Is that going to happen? No. What's going to happen is I'm going to flip a Tails right away, discard a card, and get absolutely nothing from my start. So this guy's going to be playing Fire, And it looks like he's in for a little bit of a rough matchup. So let's go ahead and start with the Misty. We have the Lapras EX. One thing that you can also choose to do is not put down your other EX Pokemon, right? If I was to put Lapras EX down right now, maybe get lucky with my Misties, flip up a bunch of heads, KO a Pokemon, well, they could make me force my Articuno out into a Lapras next turn. And that would be looking pretty bad for us there. So we're going to use a Pokeball and then get the other Lapras EX and then not play them down possibly. So let's start with the Misty here. Let's see if we could flip 2 heads. Probably not going to happen. Heads, tails. Okay, so if we got 2 heads, we'd be able to attack with Ice Wing on turn 1. That's not going to happen though. We're just going to go ahead and end our turn. If they red card us, they red card us. I don't really mind too much about that, but unless they retreat into specifically Farfetch'd, which they could do with an speed item, a little X speed action, this Ponyta is going to get KO'd. They can't evolve this turn. There's an X speed going into the Farfetch'd. Yes, sir. Okay, and he's going to hit us with that Leak Slap. So we can't Giovanni and KO the Farfetch'd, sadly. We could Sabrina and force him out. Not really the biggest desire in my book right now. So let's go ahead, Professor's Research. Draw some cards, get another Misty, get another Old Amber. So now we can go ahead, play down 1 Lapras, play down an Old Amber, play down the other Lapras, play down the Articuno, and let's just go ahead and Ice Wing him. Alternatively, we could have chosen to use the Giovanni to get the Farfetch'd to 10, and then next turn Sabrina something out, and then use a Blizzard, and it would KO the Farfetch'd as well. But that's something that we don't really need to do right now. We also have 2 energy next turn, so we can go ahead and Blizzard if we so desire. One weakness of the Old Amber here is that if we lose an EX Pokemon and then we allow them to knock out an Old Amber, they will win the game. So keep that in mind. This is going to be able to do 90 damage, discarding an energy attached to that Mon. Let's go ahead and let's Misty a Laprizio. Let's see if this happens here. A little bit of heads action, a little bit of tails action. You win some, you lose some. That's fine. We'll throw this on here on top of that. And then we can retreat the Old Amber, leave it out there, let them kill it, and get a revenge kill. I think we'll be fine. I think we just let them kill the Articuno EX. They have to swap out the Ninetales. And then they're kind of in for a mean awakening after this. So they put this in. They have to put an energy on and then discard an energy, which is going to leave them with nothing, no energy on any of their Mons. They can go ahead, Flamethrower, and then their only Pokemon with energy on it is going to be KO'd by Lapras next turn, right? So our tempo is kind of insane here. You can thank Misty for that. We got 2 extra energies from it. It's a little unfair, but these are the games that we play. This is going to be a KO on the Ninetales. And then we have Giovanni to do up to 110 damage to any fire Pokemon that they may have next turn. We're just going to go ahead and do this. Not going to play anything out of our hand. We're just going to Bubble Drain, hit them for 100. And now they're left with Ponyta as well as a nice little Vulpix. If they choose to use Vulpix and Tail Whip, we can go ahead and use Sabrina, swap it out, and attack them anyway, I do believe. So let's go ahead and see what they choose to do. They're probably going to Sabrina. Okay. Can't put we could have actually put Old Amber out there, but I didn't want to fail to a Ninetales, I guess. That was my bad. I should have put the Old Amber out there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My bad. I misplayed. I could have put it out there. They could have used X Speed as well. But put it out there, use X Speed, swap into their other Pokemon, evolve into Rapidash and hit me for 40, I think is what I was worried about. So we have this. We don't have the Misty start this time, so this could be one of our worst starts with this deck. Like I said, it's a little bit of feast or famine. And we're gonna get beat down by a Voltorb. What we need to do here, we need to top deck Misty, play an energy, flip 2 heads on Misty, and win the game. That's all I'm waiting for. We do have a potion that's going to help us out a little bit here. A little bit of feast or famine. If they don't play anything, we will probably red card them. Is it Pikachu? Here comes Pikachu EX. Oh, normal Pikachu. Zapdos EX. I don't really like playing red card here, but we'll have to find out. Our worst possible matchup. Who would have seen it coming? Articuno. I don't mind playing the Articuno down right now. Do I red card here? They had Pokeball, Professor's Research. I mean, whatever. Whatever. Draw 3 new cards. Draw 3. Maybe they'll... Do I make them draw 3 again? That'd be kind of funny. No, we won't. We won't do it. So like put an energy down on Voltorb. Oh, see, this is why my hand was trash. Draw me into a Misty. Yes, yes. Ah, the greatest. Okay, so he can't attack me. Just need to flip 1 heads on Misty here, and that'll be good. So he can go ahead and attack with his Zapdos EX next turn. We're playing a flip game, dude. Nice. Good job, Misty. We'll see who flips more coins. This is just going to be a match of RNG, right? If he flips a bunch of heads on his Zapdos EX and wins, that's going to happen. If I flip a bunch of heads on... Actually, nothing. It just comes down to how many heads he can flip on Zapdos EX after this. Basically, he needs to flip 2? 3 heads? 3 heads Zapdos EX. Me not being able to kill the Electro there is going to be a big buff, a big boon for him. I do think I'm going to play this Lapras down. And then I don't know if I want to use the Misty. I probably should use the Misty. I just don't know who I should use it on. So if we do 80, 80, 90, we'll put it on here. Let's see. Feast or famine, Misty. Double famine. So this is the downside of playing a Misty deck. Sometimes you just literally play 2 cards, flip 2 tails, and you discard 2 cards from your hand. And that's it. You know, that's the game. That's the story. So we'll see here. Sabrina's not going to be doing the greatest thing for us here. He's put all of his stuff on his Zapdos EX, which is pretty nice. He does have to flip 3 heads. 2 heads is only 120. We'll see what happens here. He didn't. Did he just skip his turn? So do I or do I not? These are the questions. Put it on Articuno. If I Bubble Drain, knock it down, he can retreat it. If I Sabrina, he brings out Pikachu X, he can retreat it. After Sabrina again. If he brings out normal Pikachu, then he's 1 less basic Pokemon for his Pikachu EX, and he's forced into using Thundering Hurricane. I think we're just going to hit it. We're just going to hit it because hitting it, if he decides to retreat this out, he's got to put an energy on one of his other Mons, which isn't going to be enough for him to attack. If he flips 3 heads, so be it. If he doesn't flip 3 heads, he loses. If he flips 3 heads and what's his Pokemon HP at? Is it enough for Articuno to take him out? Not sure. 3 heads. Congratulations. Congratulations. So if I draw a Giovanni, I just bring in Articuno and set it up, right? This is what I'm saying. It's just RNG the game. RNG squad. That's not a Giovanni. Sad days. I'll do this. It doesn't matter. All right, dude. All right, he's forced into 3 heads again. He's forced into flipping 3 heads one more time. If he gets to flip 3 heads 2 times in a row, so be it. We're Pokemon TCG Pocket gamers. Let's see what happens. Can you flip the 3 heads, Mr. Zapdos EX? You could also Potion Retreat. Could be a thing. Oh, here comes the Potion Retreat. What a gamer! He's gaming. He's gonna potion and then attack. Not even Potion Retreat, just Potion Attack. Flip 3 heads. 1. Oh, doesn't get the 3 heads. So we're gonna go to 120 here. And we're going to KO him and win. That's cool. I'm gonna save him the little bit of animation. I'm just gonna play the energy. And we're just gonna hit him with Blizzard. So opponent didn't really have a good start. Didn't get the Pikachu EX on board. And I feel like he kind of skipped his turn at one point. Which kind of gave us the ability to take that game off of defeat. That's with the most unlucky Misties I think we've ever had. So let's play one more game here. So let's see what happens here. Let's just lead with, you know what? Let's lead. We're going second. Articuno would be the best bet. Let's not. Let's not lead with Articuno. Because 1 heads with Misty would allow Articuno to attack on turn 1. Let's just not do that. Oh, baby. It's a Zapdos and a Pikachu. Let's go, baby. Show me the Misty. Oh, baby. It's not often that I start the game with all of my cards that are good. All right, dude. I'm just going to play Misty. Oh, a heads. Oh, and a tails. Yay. It's me, Misty. I'm going to play nothing and just let them go. Pikachu EX, the best deck ever. Why? Because it gets to play a bunch of 130, 120 HP basic Pokemon that do a bajillion damage for 2 energy. The best deck in the format. At least, like, you know what? We raised our, you know what? We're up from 5% to like 7% again on our heads rate. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, I'm not even counting like the second ones. I'm talking about the first heads rate. The first heads rate. So we can potion. So the question here is, do we Sabrina to get one of the Pikachus down? Because the way we are right now, we'll potion. We don't want to play the Articuno because we don't want to walk into a Sabrina of theirs, right? So let's go ahead and Bubble Drain. Bubble Drain. Big bubbles. So if he has double potion, that lives unless I get Giovanni. If he decides to put an energy on something in retreat, that saves me from getting a prize, but he doesn't do any damage this turn. If he pecks, then he still dies. So does he have double potion and I just don't have Giovanni in my hand? Cool. So if he does this and I draw Giovanni, sad days for him. If I decide to go ahead and Sabrina, he'll probably bring out the naked Pikachu, which is probably what I'll do. The naked Pikachu, the non-energy Pikachu. And he has to have an X speed. He's going to bring out Pikachu EX. Okay. Well, let's see. This kind of... Put this on Articuno, and I'll just Bubble Drain. And so he has to have a basic Mon, a basic electric monster, and he has to have a Giovanni. If you have both of those, congratulations. So no Giovanni, so not KOing me this turn. That's a plus. He's kind of at an energy deficit here. He can put an energy on Pikachu and retreat. There's the Pinshuren. Pinshuren's pretty nice. All of his monsters outside of Zapdos are kind of one away. Is he going to put energy on Zapdos and try to just flip a bunch of heads now? Could be one thing. Here comes the X speed. So if he goes into Zapdos and goes to attack me and I draw a Giovanni, he's setting himself up for an out for me to just kill his Zapdos for 2 prizes and him to just instantly lose the game. But, you know, little does he know and little do I know, no Giovanni here. So I could choose once again to Sabrina him, which is probably my best play. Because if I Sabrina him, he can bring out Pikachu or Pinscher, and he needs an X speed to retreat it for free. He's already played 1 X speed. If he chooses to bring out Pinscher and it just dies and gives me a prize, and then any Pokemon I knock out that's an EX afterwards is gone. So he's going to do this. He's going to need an X speed now. That's fine. I'm just going to heal back up. Because the one weakness of the Pikachu EX deck is like all your Mons need to have HP. So I'm trying to keep him at an energy deficit, right? So if he has an X speed, he can X speed, put the Zapdos E out, right? Put an energy on Zapdos and flip 2 heads to KO me. And even if he does do that, if I top deck Giovanni and KO him, it's kind of GG easy. So here it comes, all the RNG in the world, right? This is very desperate. This is like the 2nd time he's done this, and it gets punished by Giovanni like 100% of the time, and it's not even guaranteed for him to win. But you know, he's got a 50-50 shot here. I don't hate the play, but he's kind of forced himself into it. I'm sure he'll flip 4 heads, right? Why not? Yeah, just go ahead, flip all your heads. That's cool. How many cards are left in our deck? 10 cards left in the deck. Surely we won't draw a Giovanni, right? There's no shot we draw a Giovanni here, right? Because Giovanni just kind of ends this man's whole career. He has nothing that can attack next turn outside of Pikachu, which is not enough damage. Oh, look at Giovanni. Oh my goodness. Giovanni. And then, boom. So we kind of played that to the best we had. He gave us that out for like the 3rd time. Pinscher can't attack. Pikachu can't attack. This Pikachu EX can attack. It can hit us for 80. It can hit us for up to 110, right? If he has actually 120, he can do 120 here. So if he also happens to have Sabrina in his hand, he could force us into Lapras here, but we should be able to get an X speed between that and Oak and put an energy on Lapras, double X speed, swap back an Articuno and win the game. Is over. We struggled. Oh no, it's not over. Okay. Hiya! Well, what if we just draw a Misty? There we go. Double X speed. Double X speed, double X speed, and we go away the one way. There's that double X speed tech. Bring the Articuno back out. Yum. Yum, Blizzard. So we had a lot of outs there. Misty with energy to retreat or just attack. We had the other X speed with the Professor in our hand. So a lot of ways. We should have lost that game. I'm not really sure if I'm big on his strategy of coin flip Zapdos, run around all the time, but we tried, and that's probably one of the worst matchups for this deck. And I think we played Misty 1 time and flipped 1 heads.